Most gardeners spend years of learning through trial and error. Why did one plant thrive while the other one struggled? Why did one flower bloom beautifully all summer, but the other one struggled? The truth is, gardening is full of fascinating systems all around us, and some of which most gardeners will never even notice. Today, we're sharing 25 tips that you may not know, which may change the way you garden in the future. Many gardeners think that soil is simply the material that holds the plant in place. But healthy soil is the true gem because it's a living ecosystem. Inside a small amount of healthy soil are countless microorganisms, including bacteria, fungi, and other microscopic organisms that are constantly working beneath the surface. These tiny organisms help break down organic matter, recycle nutrients, improve soil structure, and create a healthier environment for plant roots. This is why two gardens with the exact same plants can have completely different results. The difference is often what is happening underground. When you add compost, mulch, or organic matter to your soil, you're not just feeding your plants, you're helping the microorganisms under the ground thrive. One of the most fascinating discoveries in gardening is that plants are not as isolated as they appear. Many plants form partnerships with a fungus called mycorrhizae. These fungi attach themselves to plant roots and create an underground network that helps plants access water and nutrients more efficiently. The plant provides sugars created through photosynthesis, while the fungi help gather resources from the soil. Some researchers have even described these underground connections as a wood wide web because plants can exchange resources through these fungal networks. It doesn't mean that plants are literally talking to each other, but it really emphasizes how truly connected plants really are. Most gardeners know how important compost is for plants, but most don't know how powerful it truly is. Compost is often referred to as black gold because it improves almost every element of your soil. It adds nutrients, but that is only one part of the story. Compost also improves soil structure, helping heavy clay soils drain better and sandy soils hold more moisture longer. It creates a better environment for beneficial microorganisms and helps plants develop stronger root systems. Another important benefit is that the compost releases nutrients slowly over time. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that provide a quick boost, compost creates a more stable growing environment. Plants don't just adapt to the environment around them, they can actually change it. A large tree is a perfect example. A tree creates shade, reduces wind, lowers temperatures, and changes moisture levels around it. But even smaller plants can influence their surroundings. Ground covers protect soil from drying out, reduce weed growth, and help maintain more stable conditions around plant roots. Plants may not have brains, but they're actually more responsive than most people give them credit for. They can detect changes in light, temperature, gravity, and even physical touch. For example, climbing plants use their tendrils and leaf stems to sense nearby structures and adjust their growth direction. Some plants can also respond to damage by releasing chemical signals that warn nearby plants of potential threats. Scientists are still discovering how complex plant communication really is, but one thing is clear. Plants are not passive organisms waiting to grow. They are constantly sensing and responding to the world around them. Many plants are designed to produce seeds after blooming, so once that process is done, they will produce less flowers. By removing faded blooms, also called deadheading, you redirect the plant's energy back into creating new flowers instead of seeds. This simple habit can extend the blooming season of plants like roses, petunias, marigolds, and many perennials. Some plants do actually more than just grow in the garden. They can actually improve the soil conditions around them. Plants in the legume family, like clover, peas, and beans, work together with a special bacteria that allow them to capture nitrogen from the atmosphere. This process adds usable nitrogen back into the soil, which is why these plants are often used as cover crops and in regenerative gardening. It's easy to assume that a huge leafy plant must be thriving, but that's not always true. Too much nitrogen creates a lot of green leafy growth, but can reduce the amount of flowers or fruit production. For example, a tomato plant with excessive fertilizer may grow enormous leaves but produce fewer tomatoes. Healthy plants need balance, not just maximum growth. When possible, morning is the ideal time to water your garden. Plants have the entire day to absorb moisture, and any water on the leaves have time to dry before nighttime. Deep, less frequent watering encourages roots to grow deeper, making the plants more resilient during dry periods. A quick splash every day isn't as effective as doing a deep watering so that the roots get truly soaked every so often. Many gardeners see insects and immediately think something's wrong. But a thriving garden actually needs insects, including pollinators and beneficial predators that help control pests naturally. Ladybugs, lacewings, and bees all have important roles in keeping the ecosystem balanced. The goal of a healthy garden is not to eliminate all insects. It's to create an environment where the helpful ones can thrive. If you're enjoying these gardening secrets, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button to follow us for more tips and tricks that we produce these videos every week. Flowers do much more than just add color to your garden. They provide food for pollinators, support biodiversity, and help create a more balanced ecosystem. Adding flowering plants throughout your garden can attract bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects that support your entire landscape. A beautiful garden is often full of life. In autumn, many gardeners throw away nature's most valuable soil amendment, the fallen leaf. Leaves are rich in carbon, can be used as mulch, compost material, or leaf mold. Over time, they break down and add nutrients back to the garden, improving soil structure. What looks like garden waste is actually an extremely valuable resource. When a plant looks stressed, we immediately turn to adding more water. But too much water can actually damage roots because saturated soil has less oxygen available. Healthy roots need both moisture and air to survive. Before watering, it's always good to check the soil to understand what the plant actually needs. Plants don't actually react to weather, they anticipate the change of season. Many plants measure the length of daylight, known as the photoperiod, to know when to produce flowers, drop their leaves, or prepare for winter. That is why some plants begin changing long before temperatures actually shift. They're responding to the calendar that's written in the sun. A seed may look inactive, but really it's a tiny little plant waiting for the right conditions. Temperature, moisture, oxygen, and sometimes light determine when that seed wakes up and begins growing. This is why planting depth and timing matter so much. The right conditions can transform something that looks dead into something that's thriving and beautiful. Pruning is one of the most useful garden skills, but timing is everything. Some plants bloom on old wood, meaning next year's flowers are already developing on existing branches. Others bloom on new growth, which benefit from stronger pruning. Understanding how your specific plant grows can help you prevent accidentally pruning next year's flowers. Earthworms are some of the hardest workers in the garden, next to me. As they move through the soil, they create tunnels that improve drainage and allow air to reach the plant roots. They also help break down organic matter and move nutrients throughout the soil. Finding worms in your soil is a great sign that your soil is healthy and active. Native plants have evolved alongside local insects, birds, and other wildlife for thousands of years. Because they are adapted to local conditions, they often require less maintenance once established. They also provide important food sources and shelter for wildlife. Adding native plants is one of the easiest ways to make your garden more connected to the natural environment. If you're inspired to put some of these gardening secrets into practice, be sure to visit us here at Wildwood Outdoor Living. And if you can't make it into the store, be sure to check out our online store where we have some of your favorites available to ship across the country. Have you ever wondered how a seed buried underground knows which way they send their roots down and their stem up? Plants can actually sense gravity through specialized cells that contain tiny starch-filled structures called statoliths. These structures act almost like microscopic levels, helping the plant determine which direction is down. Even if you turn a seed on its side, it will gradually redirect its roots downward and it shoots upward. It's one of the reasons why seedlings can recover after being disturbed or transplanted. Plants may seem completely still, but if you set up a time-lapse camera and watch the results, you will see that they are constantly moving. Sunflowers track the sun while they're young, climbing vines search for supports, flowers open and close throughout the day, and roots continuously grow towards water and nutrients. Plants are constantly responding to their environment. We just don't notice because they are operating at a much slower timescale. Not every part of your garden has the same growing conditions. A sunny wall can create a warmer area, while a shaded corner may stay cooler and more humid. Wind exposure, slope, nearby structures, and even paving can all change the environment around your plants. These small differences are called microclimates, and understanding them can help you place plants where they will thrive. Sometimes the key to growing a difficult plant isn't changing the plant, it's changing where you place the plant. Birds are more than just beautiful visitors to your garden. Many birds help control insect populations by feeding on caterpillars, beetles, and other garden pests. They also add movement and life to outdoor spaces, making your garden feel like a complete ecosystem. By adding bird feeders, water sources, and plants that produce seeds or berries will enhance the amount of wildlife that visits your garden. Mulch is one of the best tools for protecting plants, but using it incorrectly can have its downsides. A common mistake is creating a thick mold of mulch directly against the trunk of a tree, sometimes called a mulch volcano. This keeps too much moisture against the bark and can create conditions where problems develop. Instead, spread the mulch around the root zone and keep the area around the trunk clear. Many gardeners are afraid of pruning their plants back too much, but some plants actually respond really well to a hard prune. Ornamental grasses, many perennials, and some flowering plants naturally regrow from the base each season. Removing old growth helps improve airflow, reduce disease problems, and encourages fresh new growth. The important thing is knowing your plant. Some perform well to a light prune, and some perform really well to a hard cutback. One of the newest discoveries in plant science is that some plants actually remember stressful events of the past. If a plant experiences drought, extreme heat, or certain pests, it can sometimes respond faster for the next time it encounters the same challenge. Scientists call this stress memory, and while plants don't have memories like animals do, they can change how certain genes are expressed after stressful conditions. It's a reminder that plants are much more sophisticated than we actually thought. From the microorganisms beneath your soil to the birds, the bees, and other beneficial insects, everything has a role to play in your garden. The more we understand these conditions, the easier it becomes to grow healthier plants and create a space that works with nature instead of against it. And now we want to hear from you. Which one of these gardening secrets surprised you the most, and which will you use in your garden in the future? If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to let us know in the comments below what you want to hear from us next.